going to start talking about this challenge. A lot of guys ask me about this. How the fuck do I continue being swiped into the friend zone by women? We do everything right. We created some interest. She's now interested in us. We built some comfort. We actually took our time to be sincere, made a genuine connection, and then crickets. Why? Because we took a few steps forward and we got stuck in the friend zone because we were afraid to escalate the interaction forwards. We played it safe. And what you have to understand is that safe doesn't get you there. So today in this training, I'm going to show you exactly why getting stuck in the comfort phase is one of the most frustrating mistakes that a lot of men make, and how to bridge from the connection part to the seduction part without killing the attraction that you actually built. So you're going to discover why staying in the comfort zone for too long kills all romantic potential, and how the friend zone happens when you fail to escalate, and the specific signals, and this is where it gets important and interesting, the specific signals and actions that move you from connection forwards to intimacy. And you're going to learn why playing it safe is actually the riskiest strategy of all. And for the ones joining us on our lives, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, my name is Rink and I'm from the Netherlands. That's why you hear the Dutch accent. And I'm from Mancademy. And since 2009, I've been working with men, mentoring men, teaching men, organizing seminars, workshops, boot camps. And since then, I've helped thousands of men understand that building comfort out escalating forward will lead straight into that dreaded friend zone. And this is something that a lot of guys do not like to hear, because we all have our paradigms, we all have our belief systems, and we all think we know it all, especially us guys. We have an ego. But what you have to understand is that the men who succeed, they know that comfort is a bridge. It's a bridge to intimacy, not a destination. Comfort is not a destination. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to cross that bridge. But first, let me tell you about the most frustrating period of my dating life. I had finally figured out how to create attraction and build comfort, especially after my first breakup, the long-term breakup with the mother of my daughter, my first daughter. I would go out and I would train these skills, and I would have amazing conversations with women and create genuine connections. And we would spend hours together, and then nothing would happen every single time. I would wait for that perfect moment to make a move. And then I would hope that she would give me a clear signal. And I would play it safe to avoid ruining the connection that we built. And every single time I would end up hearing, "You're such a great friend. I really like you. You're such an amazing guy. But to me, you're such a great friend." And at some point, I started to understand that I wasn't failing because I couldn't attract. I wasn't failing because I couldn't build comfort and trust and connection. I was failing because I was too scared to fuck shit up by escalating forward. And that's why I got stuck in the middle, in the friend zone. She was interested enough in me to want to spend time with me. And while spending time, we built comfort, we built trust, and we built connection. But then I wouldn't progress the interaction forwards. Now, try to picture this. Picture two men who both successfully create that first bit of attraction. And they build comfort with the same woman. So guy number one, his name is Steve. Steve creates great attraction. He builds strong comfort, deep connection. He has multiple great conversations. He spends a lot of time with her, but he never grabs her hand. He never flirts. He never says anything even slightly sexual. He never creates that sexual tension. He never goes in for the kiss. He waits for the perfect moment, and he eventually, after months, he will confess his feelings. And then he will hear what most guys, I think we would do way better as friends. Now we have Eric on the other hand. And Eric creates great attraction as well. He builds strong comfort, strong connection. Also has multiple great conversations. Eric, though, naturally escalates physical touch. He creates sexual tension throughout the interaction. He goes for the kiss at the right moment. He makes his intentions clear through actions. So he never has to confess his feelings. She knows his feelings. And that's where a romantic, intimate relationship develops. Now, the difference is that Steve, like me in the past, thought that he was being respectful by giving her space and allowing her to progress forward. Eric understood that he needed to be clear about his intentions in word and in actions. So what you have to understand as a man is that comfort phase. You have the interest phase, you have the seduction phase. That's what happens. All of you here that have had a serious intimate relationship have passed through those phases. And here's what the successful men understand. The comfort phase exists to make her feel safe, safe enough for physical and romantic escalation. The comfort phase does not exist to become a permanent station where you can station yourself, because there is a psychological purpose for comfort. The purpose of creating comfort is to create safety for intimacy to happen, to build trust so that you can actually be real with each other and actually get to know each other on deeper levels. Because then what happens is you establish connection, and those connections, the more connections you have, the deeper you will bond. So the purpose of comfort is to prepare for a romantic, intimate relationship, an actual relationship. Comfort has nothing on one-night stands. That's a different ballgame. But here we're talking about solid, strong relationships, and they need comfort. So you being able to comfort a woman is a very important skill. A lot of us nice guys possess that trait naturally. We are good at creating comfort. So women feel safe around us and they trust us easily and we connect easily. However, if we don't progress forward and we stay in comfort, we stay in the friend zone. So the mistake here is treating comfort as the end goal rather than a necessary step toward romance, toward intimacy. There's a natural sequence where we go through and how you end up in the friend zone. And the sequence is like this. So let's say you meet a lady called Sarah or whatever her name is. You build comfort, or first of all, you build interest. You create that first initial attraction. Then you build comfort, but then you don't escalate. You don't push forward. She's interested in you, interested enough to want to spend time with you and to get to know you. So she does, and you spend time with each other and comfort builds, trust builds, connection builds. But there's nothing more. Now week 2, more great conversations, deeper connection, still no escalation, gentlemen. Now she starts seeing you as safe. Week 3, even more comfort. Now a genuine friendship is forming because there's no romantic tension. So in her brain, she automatically categorizes you as a friend. It's what her mind automatically does. Week 4, 5, or maybe even after 2 or 3 months, because this sometimes happens, that You finally escalate. You finally build up that confidence to go in for the kiss. Now, she is shocked and she's confused because in her mind, she goes, I thought we were just friends. What are you doing? I thought we were just friends. And there's this podcast, what's the name? With this guy, Myron. You see him all over the internet. And I saw a part of a podcast where he put this to the test. Because a lot of women have male friends. They have male friends. And I remember him asking one of the girls, if he's a friend, let's put this to the test. Call him now and say that you want to hook up. Now, I saw him do that a few times, and the girls were shocked when the guy said, oh, sure, let's do that. Finally, you want to hook up with me. Now, the girls are confused because they were friends for such a long time, whereas he was waiting in the friend zone for the right moment. So again, the sequence is the woman is interested in you. She's interested enough to spend time with you, to get to know you, to bond, build trust, build connections, because that's the next phase. That's a comfort phase. So we have interest phase, comfort phase, and then in comfort phase, you get stuck. You hit the brakes. You don't move it forward. So you automatically stay stuck in the middle and you don't go to the third phase, which is where the intimacy happens. And this is how the window of opportunity opens and also closes again. Because you could really see it like that. There's a window of opportunity for romantic escalation. And once that window closes, it's extremely difficult to reopen because she has you solidified in the friend zone. She sees you as a friend, not as a romantic option. So the window opens when you've built enough interest and enough comfort. The window closes when you've built so much comfort without escalating forward that she categorizes you as just a friend. And she discusses it with you, and you're there patiently listening to all that she's doing to other guys, hoping and wishing it was you, thinking, but why do you do that? Why do you go with them? I'm right here, and I can love you like no other man can. They're no good for you. Tyrone treats you like an asshole. Kevin grabs you behind a copying machine. They only want one thing. I want true love. I can give you that. And because you act like a friend, that's why you get categorized as a friend. There's a few fears that men have that get them stuck. The first fear is the fear of ruining the connection. And the thought behind this is, things are going so well, if I make a move right now and she rejects me, I will ruin everything. But the reality is, by not making a move, by not pushing things forward, you're literally guaranteeing the outcome that you fear. Because the connection will become platonic, you will lose any romantic potential. And the truth is that if she's interested in you and if she's slightly attracted to you, the escalation, the pushing it forward, strengthens the connection. If she's not attracted, the connection was never going to become romantic anyways. So keep that in mind. Fear number 2, misreading the signals. The thought behind that is, I'm not sure if she's interested. I don't want to make her uncomfortable by escalating if she's not ready. The reality is, if you are waiting for a level of certainty that will never come, you can wait until you grow bald like me. There's always a bit of risk. If you've built attraction, if you've built comfort, the risk of appropriate escalation is minimal. And if you escalate calibrated and respectfully, even if she's not ready, you will not ruin anything. Number 3, you don't want to be that guy. The thought behind this is, I don't want to be one of those aggressive guys who only pushes for sex. I want to let her know that I care about her as a person. I want to get to know her on a deeper level. I want to do something that most guys will never do, and that's try to build a connection. The reality is, by never escalating, you're communicating that you are not sexually interested at all. This kills attraction. I was this guy, by the way, that's why I'm laughing. I thought I was being respectful. You know what? I'm going to mind her boundaries. And she's going to appreciate that. And then she's going to fall deeply in love with me. Never happened, never. Look, I get it. You can care about her as a person and be sexually interested. In fact, that's what she wants. She wants a man who values her as a person and for who she is and her character and her life goals and the things that she's passionate about, and that you desire her sexually. That you want to grab her by the puppy scruff. And fear number 4, waiting for the perfect moment. That was me. I'll wait right here for the perfect, obvious moment when there's no ambiguity, when it doesn't seem weird. Look, the perfect moment rarely exists. You're using this as an excuse to avoid taking action. That's basically what I did. I was afraid to push it forward because I'd never done it and I didn't know what to do or how to do it in a proper way. I didn't know. And we call this the playing safe paradox. What you think playing it safe does is that it protects the connection, that it avoids rejection, right? That it keeps the option open, and that it communicates a level of respect. However, what it actually does, it kills all romantic potential, it guarantees the friend zone, it closes the romantic window, and it literally communicates a lack of sexual interest and a lack of sexual experience. Because while you think you are communicating how respectful you are, your facial mimicking, your body language, your vocal intonality, all the things that you communicate but don't say, communicate, I am inexperienced. And inexperienced equals unattractive, whether we like it or not, gentlemen. I'm still a romantic dude. I wish it was different so that I could step back into my comfort zone and create connections and live happily ever after, like the Disney movies. I learned the hard way that it doesn't work that way. And I know that you guys learned the hard way. I know I'm not the only one. Playing it safe is the riskiest strategy that you can choose. But by playing it safe, you're not taking her hand. You're not physically escalating. So what does this communicate? I'm not comfortable with physical touch, or I'm not interested in you romantically. That's also a reason why sometimes the window of opportunity closes, because she thinks, because you're not taking things forward, that you are not interested. So what you should do is naturally grab her hand when you're walking, for an example, when you are meeting up somewhere and taking her to a bar to have a drink, grab her hand and lock arms and guide her, crossing the street, leading her somewhere. Naturally do that. Another thing that you're not doing is looking at her in that way, that special way. What does this communicate? I don't see you sexually, or I'm afraid of my own desire. This was me in the past. I was afraid of my manly desires. I thought it was, how could you look at a woman like that? Have you no respect, you asshole? That was me. And I've spoken with many hundreds of guys in the past nearly 20 years now that believe the same thing, that went through the same thing, being afraid of their own desires. Gentlemen, understand, you have those desires, it's healthy. I only later on learned that I have a bit of a higher testosterone level, which causes me to have a bit of a higher drive. It has nothing to do with a lack of respect. So allow yourself to look at her with genuine desire and genuine appreciation, and hold eye contact just a little longer than friendly. And you look her in the eyes from left to right, and then you look at her lips. It's okay to be that guy. She wants you to be that guy. That's why she's with you right now. She doesn't need more friends. She has enough friends. She doesn't need you as a friend. Not going in for the kiss is also a mistake. Again, I made that. And I've spoken to countless of women that were in that position. And maybe the guys will recognize this. You've had a date, but you've kept your distance. You thought you were respectful. You kept your distance, and then you take her home. And you stand in front of her place and you say, well, good night. See you next time. And it becomes awkward. And deep inside, you feel that urge to want to kiss her, but you stand there and the moment becomes more awkward and more awkward. And then you say, okay, goodbye. And then you walk away, feeling stupid. Show of hands. Who's been through this? No, am I the only one? That's basically what you communicate. I'm not confident enough to make a move. Or, in her mind, I only want to be friends. And what you should do is you create the moment and go for the kiss when you've built enough comfort and attraction, and make sure that you spend more time in her intimate zone instead of her social zone, so that it's easier to physically escalate, so that the kiss is a natural progression and not a step that you have to take. Like you've been awkwardly distant the entire date. So what you should do instead is use playful teasing, use that playful, naughty innuendo, flirtation, create that tension throughout all of your interactions. Become a natural flirt. Because what you have to understand, especially for the guys who are in the process right now of dating a woman but keeping their distance, that usually happens. You spend weeks building comfort without any romantic escalation. Then suddenly you try to kiss her, or suddenly you confess your feelings. In her experience, it goes like this. Huh? What? I thought we were friends. Where the hell is this coming from? And the reason why she's shocked is because you've given her zero indication of romantic interest through your actions, and your sudden escalation feels incongruent and it feels confusing. And the problem here is you cannot build comfort as friends and then suddenly switch to romantic interest. The escalation needs to happen gradually throughout all of the steps. From the first moment that you meet, gradually, slowly. Don't go too fast, but escalate. It should happen gradually, not as a sudden big step or this big thing. I had this guy, I forgot his name. He was stuck in the friend zone, I think, for over a year. And the reason why he came to us, because after a year he decided that enough was enough. He would do a grand gesture. He wrote a poem confessing his love. He bought flowers. He bought a box of chocolate. He brought a sound system with him. He stood in front of her house, put some romantic music on, grabbed a microphone and confessed his love in a grand romantic gesture. Well, I can tell you that was the end of their friendship. She felt fucked over because how could he do that to their friendship? Guys, these things only work in romantic comedy movies, not in real life. If you think that you need to do a grand gesture to confess your romantic love, contact me first so I can bitch slap some sense into you before you make that mistake. And if you then don't listen to me, go and do it, but please film it, please. I want to see you go down like the Titanic. The escalation, the progression towards intimacy needs to happen gradually throughout the entire interaction. Not suddenly after 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. Kissing is a critical part of the comfort phase. It's not something that comes after. That's why I usually say to guys, look, if you're in the comfort phase, she feels comfortable, go for it. It's a part of the comfort phase, because what does kissing establish? It establishes that you are a man with a healthy romantic interest, a healthy sexual drive. What more do you establish? This is not platonic. This is romantic. She's now becoming comfortable with physical intimacy with you, and now she and you understand that the relationship is progressing naturally. When you kiss too early, before you've built enough comfort, she might feel uncomfortable or she might feel pressured. If you kiss too late, if you try to go in too late, after you've built too much comfort, so that she sees you as a friend, she will feel uncomfortable or pressured as well. She'll be confused. When you've built enough comfort that she feels safe, but not so much time has passed, that she categorizes you as just friends, then the moment is right. And it's typically somewhere between 13 hours. You could do it faster, of course. But if you want to build an appropriate level of comfort, trust, connection, it's usually around 7 hours. So what would be a proper approach to escalating? Escalating the interaction should be gradual and progressive throughout the entire interest and comfort phase. So in the early stages, casual, non-sexual touches, arm, shoulder, you hold her hand, you lead her, but playful physical interaction, a flirtatious, like when she makes a joke at you, she's flirting with you, she makes a joke, you poke her with your elbow, like, you little shit, you got me there. Or when she jokes with you, you can grab her hand and say something like, you know what I usually do with my little niece when she jokes around with me? You give her a little tap. Playful, flirtatious. And you can do this when you're sitting or standing a little bit closer, which is why when people ask me, don't go to dinner or a date and sit across the table from each other. You are now establishing a friendship. This is the social space. You want to enter into each other's intimate space so that bubble is able to grow. That intimate bubble between the two of you. Brief eye contact with slight intensity. Then, as time progresses, more sustained touch, more sustained hand holding, more intense eye contact, more flirtatious comments, more innuendo, creating a few moments of privacy. And then you move into the more intimate touch, like face, hair, lower back, the shoulders. This is you leading her and communicating that you are a little bit more interested. Physical closeness, the kiss, super important. But also after a kiss, more passionate physical affection, clear romantic dynamic, moving towards intimacy. You're going to have to move it forward. If you don't, she will see you as a friend. And each of these steps should feel natural, progressive. It's supposed to happen, not sudden or shockingly. It shouldn't feel like a step. It's like dancing salsa. A great dance doesn't start with you throwing everything at her from the beginning. In the beginning, I'm getting to know her. I'm holding her. I'm just moving, on the beat, on the rhythm of the music. Slowly moving back and forward. Trying to feel each other. Go in sync. And then you'll start to notice that the music slowly progresses. And as the music slowly progresses, the dance slowly progresses. You start to do a move. You start to do a second move. You start to lead here and there. And then the music at some point hits a peak. And you can hear it and you can feel it. And that's where you hit the peak in the dance as well. You do a little bit more. You make her smile big. That's how you lead her forward. Just like a song, just like a dance. But you're going to have to make your intentions clear through actions, not through words. This is the completely wrong approach, and this is the nice guy approach. I did this. Spending weeks or months as friends and then verbally confessing, I actually really like you and I want to be more than friends. That's the wrong approach. The right approach would be showing romantic interest through progressive physical escalation from the beginning, moving forward. And action matters more than words. He says he's interested, but he acts like a friend. I don't know what to do with this. It's confusing. It's incongruent. Actions without words is her going, he's clearly interested. He's clearly interested romantically. His intentions are obvious and attractive. He's not saying it, but he's communicating it. So be clear about your intentions from the start. And how can you be clear? Physical touch. That's slightly more than friendly. Eye contact. That communicates a little bit more than, hey, I see you. No, I don't see you, but I see you. Communicate that desire. Flirtation. Playful teasing. Instead of staying all logical. Especially during dates. Jesus. Even Jesus did it better. Instead of going, so what do you do for a living? Do you have any brothers and sisters? Where did you grow up? What kind of music do you like? I work in IT and I'm a manager and I do this and that, and I'm just bombarding you with a lot of logic right now so that you stick into your logic and not land into your emotion, what I actually want to do, because I have no idea how to communicate. This feels good. I really enjoyed this date. Can we see each other again? Of course not. It doesn't happen that way. She has to feel something. And the only way that she's going to feel something is by you progressing forward and communicating in the right way, in a way that her biological programming understands, like finally someone that can make me feel something instead of another guy that makes me think about all the things that I don't want to think about. Flirtation and playful teasing, especially during dates. Stay away from all the logical shit. I had this girl once asking me things like that. I literally told her, I'm not going to talk about that. And I went on a tangent about different emotional stories and about the funniest thing that happened to her last week. I'm not playing that game. See it like this, guys. If you want to stay clear away from the friend zone, you have to understand the comfort escalation balance. Too much comfort and not enough escalation is friend zone. Too much escalation and not much comfort is she now feels uncomfortable and pulls away. Balanced comfort and escalation, because you only escalate forwards as she communicates signals of comfort and trust to you. She's reciprocating. That will lead to natural progression. That will lead to romantic sexual relationship. So what are some signs that she communicates, through which she communicates her receptiveness? She's comfortable with your touch and she reciprocates. She maintains strong eye contact with you. Her body language is moving towards you instead of away from you. She creates opportunities to be alone with you. She's laughing at your jokes, even the stupid ones. She's engaged. Her body language is open. She's not creating distance or barriers. What are some signs that she needs more comfort? She pulls away from your touch. She avoids eye contact. She keeps most of the interaction in groups. She seems nervous. She seems uncomfortable. Her body language is closed or slightly moved away from you. That's how you can read her signals. Now, if you are already stuck, this is one of the most asked questions. How the hell can I get out of the friend zone? The hard truth here is, and this is not black and white, by the way, but I do have a little bit of experience. Once you're deep into the friend zone, it's very difficult to escape your ass out of it. Prevention is much easier than a cure. But you do have some options. You have 3 options. Option 1 is the reset. I call it the reset. You pull back significantly. You create distance, you create mystery, and then you re-enter life with a clear romantic intent. And you escalate immediately and obviously. Option 2 is you move on. Accept the friendship, or if you cannot deal with the friendship, end the contract. If being a friend with her and having to listen to all of her sexual stories about her with other guys, if that hurts you too much, end the contract and apply what you've learned to new women. Don't make the same mistakes again. And option 3 is where you go all in, direct. You go hard or you go home. This is usually what happens. But be explicitly clear. Look, we're friends. I know you see me that way, but I see you as more than friends. And I had to share this with you. I want to be direct, and I respect our friendship enough to be very clear with you. Every time I'm around you, I feel these butterflies and I want to bite your neck. But accept that it might not work. And be prepared to lose the friendship if she's not interested. But from now on, you're going to stop waiting for the perfect moment. You're going to practice progressive physical escalation, starting small, slowly moving bigger. You're going to create that flirtatious tension in your interactions. You're going to allow yourself to communicate your healthy, manly desires in a respectful way. Be intelligent about it. I know you want to get your dick wet, but that's not the way. And from now on, when you're dating, when you're meeting a girl, make your romantic intentions clear through actions. Learn how to calibrate your escalations. Learn to read the receptiveness signs. Practice going for the kiss at the right time. Don't practice with the next door neighbor, but with the ladies that you're interested in. It's okay to make a mistake, but you have to progress forward to learn how to do it naturally. That's how you develop natural escalation skills, and that's how you never get stuck in the friend zone ever again. And that's how you create consistent romantic outcomes or intimate outcomes. Because whether you want a girlfriend or whether you just want to have a boinky boink one time, you have to progress forward. And look, I always get this, but what if I escalate and she rejects me? You know, it's quite simple. I'm Dutch, so I like simplicity. If you don't escalate, you're rejecting yourself. Because if you don't escalate, you're already rejecting yourself. You're guaranteeing the friend zone outcome that you're trying to avoid. And whether she says that she's an avoidant or not, she is not avoidant if she wants you. She's not avoidant for a man that tickles her emotions in the right way. And a potential rejection from escalation is way better than the guaranteed friend zone from not escalating. So stop playing it safe. Be respectful. Guys, I have 2 daughters myself. If I catch one of you being disrespectful, be respectful. Be respectful about it. But stop playing it safe. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop hoping that she will make it obvious. You know how women make it obvious? By doing this. That's it. That's all you're gonna get. It's that one look. It's that one, or if you're lucky, you'll get a double tap. If you're lucky. But that's as clear as most women are going to be. So start escalating progressively. Start making your intentions clear through your actions. Start crossing the bridge from comfort to intimacy. This is what separates men who get the girl from men who become such a good friend like I was in the past. The comfort phase is a bridge to intimacy. It's very important. If you can build comfort, you have awesome skills. You have very important relationship building skills. But understand that the comfort phase is not your destination. It doesn't stop at comfort. You can't wander around in it hoping that she will make something happen magically. You already created interest because she wants to spend time with you, right? She's now interested in you, so she wants to spend time with you. So now you can create comfort, trust, connection. Great. The only thing that you need to do is communicate. I'm a healthy man with healthy manly emotions and desires, and I'm slowly pushing it forward. Take one step back, take 2 steps forward. Take 2 steps back, take 1 step forward. It's like a dance, and she needs to feel that dance. She has to go through the emotional dance for her to be at some point ready to do this. Yeah? Don't let playing it safe rob you and her of the romantic potential. Give her that gift. Allow her the gift of you looking at her in a way that communicates. Don't let weeks of great connection end with, let's just be friends. Take her hand. Look at her with desire. Create that tension. Go in for the kiss. Make your intentions clear. The comfort phase exists to make her feel safe enough for intimacy. So move toward intimacy. Stop getting stuck in the middle. Start crossing that bridge. That's how you avoid the friend zone. That's how you turn connection into romance. It needs that kiss. It needs that fiery passion. That's how you succeed with women, even as a nice guy. It's okay to be a genuinely nice guy. You don't have to be an asshole. It has nothing to do with that. Comfort is the bridge. Now walk across it. And here's the truth. If you don't know your dating archetype, you're flying blind when and how to escalate. Because nice guys are the worst offenders. They get stuck in the friend zone constantly because they're terrified of escalation. Overthinkers wait for 100% certainty that will never come. And even some other archetypes struggle with calibrated escalation. And each character, each archetype has specific escalation challenges and blind spots. If you want to know which ones yours are, take our dating archetype assessment. Take that assessment and you will get personalized results. Yeah, and you will finally understand why you, specifically you, get stuck in the friend zone and how exactly to fix it. So stop wondering when to make your move and start knowing exactly when and exactly how to escalate based on your archetype. If you want to have the link, send me an inbox message, archetype or assessment. That's all I need to know. And with that, I conclude. This was probably the most in-depth training I've ever done on why guys like you and me end up in the friend zone. So, brother, with a lot of love, I hope I've challenged you in a way unlike I've ever done before. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Like, share, follow, and I will see you in the next training.